Getting fired was the best thing that ever happened to me. I know, it sounds crazy, right? But stick with me. 10 years ago, I was just another corporate drone, climbing a ladder that wasn't even mine. I loved my job, or so I thought. I poured my heart and soul into every project, working late, skipping lunches, doing everything I could to prove my worth. I was a top performer, consistently exceeding targets, and I genuinely believed I was building a secure future with the company. Then, one Tuesday morning, my manager called me into his office. I walked in expecting a new assignment, maybe even a pat on the back for the successful launch we'd just had. Instead, I got to words. "You're terminated." No reason, no explanation, just a vague mention of corporate restructuring. I was stunned. It felt like the floor had just dropped out from under me. I packed my sad little box of desk trinkets, did the walk of shame past my former colleagues who wouldn't make eye contact, and drove home in a daze. The first few weeks were a blur of shock, anger, and self-doubt. What did I do wrong? Was I not good enough? The rejection was crushing. I spent days just replaying every single moment, every email, every meeting, trying to find the mistake that cost me my job. But there was nothing. It was a completely arbitrary decision, and that was the hardest part to swallow. My identity had been so wrapped up in my career that without it, I felt completely lost. After wallowing in misery for a little too long, something inside me snapped. I was tired of feeling helpless. I realized that my future had been in someone else's hands, and they had just dropped it without a second thought. I decided right then and there that I would never let that happen again. I would build something for myself, something that no one could take away from me. The anger that had been eating me up started to transform into fuel. A fire was lit. I wasn't just going to find another job. I was going to create my own. I was going to be my own boss. So, what was my grand plan? Honestly, I didn't have one at first. All I had was the knowledge and skills I'd gained from my old job. I worked in digital marketing, specifically focused on helping small businesses grow their online presence. My old company offered these services, but they were expensive, bloated, and full of corporate jargon that confused most clients. They were a big ship, slow to turn and slow to adapt. I saw an opportunity. What if I could offer the same, or even better, services but faster, more affordably, and with a personal touch that a giant corporation could never match? The idea was terrifying, but also incredibly exciting. I started small. I used what little savings I had to build a simple website and print some business cards. I reached out to my personal network, offering my services for a fraction of what my old company charged. My first client was a local bakery struggling to get noticed online. I poured everything I had into their project, not just because I needed the money, but because I needed to prove to myself that I could do it. I built them a beautiful new website, ran a targeted social media campaign, and helped them get featured on a few local food blogs. Within a few months, their online orders had tripled. They were ecstatic, and for the first time since being fired, so was I. Word of mouth is a powerful thing. That one happy client led to 2 more, then 5, then 10. I was working out of my spare bedroom, fueled by cheap coffee and a burning desire to succeed. The hours were insane. I was the CEO, the marketer, the accountant, and the janitor all rolled into one. There were moments of crippling doubt, times when I was so exhausted I thought I couldn't go on. But every time a client thanked me, every time I saw their business grow because of my work, it was like a shot of adrenaline. I wasn't just building a business. I was helping other people build their dreams. And that was a feeling my old corporate job could never give me. As my client list grew, I realized I couldn't do it all alone. The thought of hiring someone was scary. It meant I was responsible for someone else's livelihood, but it was a necessary step. I hired my first employee, a talented young designer who shared my passion for helping small businesses. Then I hired a writer, then a social media manager. We were a small, nimble team, a stark contrast to the bureaucratic giant I used to work for. We could make decisions in minutes, not weeks. We could experiment, pivot, and tailor our strategies for each client without having to go through layers of management approval. We were the scrappy underdogs, and we were winning. About 3 years into my journey, something amazing happened. A potential client reached out for a proposal. As I read through their request, I realized their current marketing agency was my old company. This was it, the moment I had secretly been dreaming of. A head-to-head battle. I knew their playbook inside and out. I knew their weaknesses, their high prices, their slow response times. I put together the most detailed, strategic, and personalized proposal I had ever created. I didn't just promise results. I showed them exactly how we would achieve them, step by step. I highlighted our agility, our dedication, and our lower cost. We won the contract. Taking that client from my old company was sweeter than any promotion I had ever received there. It wasn't about revenge. Not really. It was about validation. It was proof that what I was building had real value. It proved that being smaller, more focused, and more passionate could beat being bigger and more established. Over the next few years, this happened again and again. We started competing for bigger clients, and more often than not, we were winning against the very company that had cast me aside. They had unknowingly created their own biggest competitor. Today, my company has a team of 50 incredible people. We have a beautiful office, not that I spend much time there. I still prefer working from my home office sometimes. We've helped hundreds of businesses thrive, and we're recognized as a leader in our industry. My old company, they've gone through several more restructurings and have lost significant market share. Sometimes I wonder if the manager who fired me is still there. I wonder if he knows what he started. Looking back, getting fired was a gift disguised as a catastrophe. It forced me out of my comfort zone and onto a path I never would have chosen for myself. It taught me resilience, the importance of self-belief, and the incredible power of turning a negative situation into a positive one. If you're going through something similar right now, a layoff, a setback, a moment where you feel completely lost, I want you to hear this. It's not the end. It might just be the beginning of something better than you could ever imagine. That rejection might be the redirection you desperately needed. Use the anger, use the hurt, and use it to build something that is undeniably unstoppable. Yours. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you next time.